Hare Krishna, let's welcome Rukmini Priya Mataji and let us give 100% attention when she shares her realization. I've been looking forward for this class for a long time. Haribol.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All gurus to Srila Prabhupada. Om Jnanatimirandasya Gina Gina Shalakaya Chakshurumritam Yena Tasmai Shri Guru Namah Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Vishnaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Nami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shanyavadi Paschatyadeshatarthi Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Vishnaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Nami. So thank you, Shri Radhe Mataji, for this opportunity. And thank you, dear devotees. I hope and pray I can say some words that are beneficial for my purification. So we've been studying and reading, seventh canto, Prahlad Maharaj and Lord Nrsimha's prayers that he offered to the Lord. So this past time, it has given us unwavering faith, has given us, divine intervention, and also, the ultimate redemption. That's the testament of this power of devotion that Prahlad had, and the triumph over good, over evil. So after Prahlad's father, Hiranyakashipu, was killed, Lord Nrsimhadev was angry. And even the demigods, headed by Lord Brahma, could not pacify him. And so Lord Brahma asked Prahlad Maharaj to pacify the Lord's anger. And Prahlad Maharaj had so much devotion and affection for the Lord. He was not afraid at all. He was very brave. Prahlad was very brave, and he came before the Lord and offered obeisances. And Lord Nrsimhadev, he had great affection towards Prahlad Maharaj. What he did, he put his hand on Prahlad Maharaj's head. And because being personally touched by the Lord, Prahlad achieved Brahma Jnana, spiritual knowledge. So these beautiful prayers are in the seventh canto, like I said, chapter 9. So through Prahlad's heartfelt prayers and his unwavering devotion, we witness the transformation of the rat from Lord Nrsimhadev. And that rat, we got mercy, and then we got, forgiveness and compassion. So Prahlad's unwavering faith, serves as a guiding light. And, reminding us on the power of devotion and the ultimate reward that awaits those who remain steadfast in our path, in our spiritual path. So these lessons of Prahlad Maharaj and Lord Nrsimha, they continue to resonate in the hearts of devotees, offering solace, inspiration, and a path towards spiritual enlightenment. So I'll speak a little bit about Prahlad Maharaj's devotion. So he, despite being born in a demoniac family, he had deep faith and a deep connection with the Lord. And this alone sets him apart because of his, deep devotion. So Prahlad's father, King Hiranyakashipu, he was a demon king. And, he was born in a family of ignorance and in darkness. And he was powerful, but yet he gained all his power through severe austerities. And these are austerities he was granted by Lord Brahma. Then he got blinded. He got blinded by his ego and material desire. Hiranyakashipu, he began to misuse this power, and he declared himself as the ruler of the universe. So in contrast, Prahlad was born with innate spiritual wisdom. He had a deep connection with the Lord. And even as a young child, he displayed extraordinary qualities of devotion. And he always wanted to be on a spiritual path and have spiritual purpose. So what did his father wanted to do? He wanted to persecute Prahlad. But Prahlad's devotion and his faith in the Lord Nrsimhadev became a source of great anguish for his father. He wasn't able to comprehend and able to accept his son's devotion to the Lord. And he said he read several times relentlessly. He wanted to persecute Prahlad, and he subjected him to so many tortures, so many different attempts to take him away from his allegiance to the Lord. And despite being, immensely physically and emotionally tormented, Prahlad Maharaj remained steadfast in his devotion. He had unwavering faith in the Lord. And this also serves as a source of strength and resilience throughout his trials and tribulations. So Prahlad's unwavering faith in the Lord, his faith was unshakable. At such a young age, he was not merely a product of blind faith. He had a deep spiritual realization. He understood that the Supreme Lord is the ultimate source of protection, love, and guidance. So through his devotion, Prahlad Maharaj, he recognized the Lord's omnipresence and the Lord's omnipotence. And in his faith in the Lord Nrsimhadev, he didn't have to do any external rituals. He didn't have to have theoretical knowledge. It's living and breathing his faith, and that every day of his life, that's what he wanted. He always was trying to teach his classmates about the Lord and sing prayers, and so he had this divine quality in every practice. In every particular creation, he felt an intimate connection with the Lord at all times. So it's very, very, encouraging when we read about Prahlad's devotion. He was not, dependent on any external circumstances. He was, whether he was, in the lap of luxury, or he was, in the darkest of calamities, or his love for the Lord remained unwavering. His devotion was a shining example of surrender, humility, and complete dependence on the Lord. So Prahlad Maharaj's devotion to the Lord, serves as a reminder, of unwavering faith. His story, inspired devotees to cultivate a deep connection with the Supreme Lord, and to navigate life challenges, with humility, grace, and devotion. So in face of adversity, Prahlad's faith in the Lord Nrsimhadev shines. It reminds us of the eternal love and the protection that the Lord provides to his devotees. So Prahlad Maharaj pleaded, and he was able to calm the Lord. So Lord Nrsimhadev, he appeared from the pillar, and these powers were like beyond Hiranyakashipu's comprehension. He could not imagine that the Lord emerged from this pillar. And so, in this chaos, with the Lord and Prahlad Maharaj's father just bewildered, Prahlad Maharaj, in the midst of all this chaos, it's divine chaos, and it's not like material things, but in this divine chaos, Prahlad Maharaj, he remained steadfast. His faith wasn't shaken. He recognized that that we need to seek the Lord's mercy. We need the Lord's mercy to get protection. So what did he do? With folded palms, and with his heart overflowing with love, he began to offer heartfelt prayers to Lord Nrsimhadev. And Prahlad's plea, he was not fearful. He was not, self-centered or motivated by any fear. It was just his genuine expression of his deep love for the Lord and his compassion to all living beings, which included his tormentor, his own father. He praised the divine qualities of Lord Nrsimhadev, and he expressed that the Lord has wisdom, compassion, and unparalleled strength. So Lord Nrsimhadev's anger, his anger raged, and it's described in Bhagavatam that his eyes blazed like molten gold, and the entire universe trembled in fear of his wrath. And even the demigods, they were filled with both terror and awe. They did not know what to do. But Prahlad Maharaj's unwavering devotion and his sincere plea touched the heart of Lord Nrsimhadev. The Lord was in anger, but then he recognized that this pure intention behind Prahlad's prayer, and he saw the love and faith, his love and faith were genuine. And it was untainted by any selfish desire. So Lord Nrsimhadev's mercy on Prahlad, in an instant, his anger subsided, and a gentle smile replaced, the ferocious part. So the Lord was pleased. He was pleased with Prahlad Maharaj's unwavering devotion and his pure heart, and then he granted him a benediction. A benediction not just for himself, but generations to come. But Prahlad Maharaj, he stated that, my Lord, this is not a bartering system. He did not want to accept that. So Prahlad Maharaj, he was overwhelmed with love and gratitude, and he offered, prostrated obeisances to the Lord. That he know that his prayers had been heard and they're answered. So he understood that the Lord's anger was not directed towards him personally, but towards the evil forces that sought to harm him innocently. So the calming of Lord Nrsimha anger through Prahlad's prayers it serves us, not only serves us as it's a lesson in devotion, but also the boundless mercy of the Lord and the compassion of the Lord. And it tells us that no matter how intense the anger or the darkness, the Lord's love and grace will always prevail. So no matter what, we should always remember that the Lord's love and grace will prevail. So in this face of this adversity, Prahlad Maharaj's devotion to the Lord is a shining example to all of us, that his prayers not only pacified the Lord anger's, but what did he do? He established a legacy of divine protection for generations to come. So the prayers are started in chapter 9, and there's one prayer, 7, 9, 11. Naivatmana Prabhu ayam nijalava purno manajjanad avittusa karuna vinnati yadyajano bhagavat vedatita manam tat chatmane pratimukasya yatamukha shrin. So the translation, Srila Prabhupada's translation, the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is always fully satisfied in himself. So whenever something is offered, therefore, when something is offered to him, the offering by the Lord's mercy, is for the benefit of the devotee. For the Lord does not need service from anyone. And Srila Prabhupada, he kindly gave an example. So if one's face is decorated, the reflection of one's face in the mirror is also seen to be decorated. So a little bit about on the purport. Srila Prabhupada goes into the purport and he mentions Canto 7, Chapter 5, verse 23. So in Bhakti Yoga, it is recommended that a devotee follow the 9 principles. Shravanam, Kirtam, Vishnu, Swaranam, Parasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma, Nivedanam. So it's this service of glorifying the Lord by hearing chanting. And this is the blazing fire of material existence is extinguished. So the Lord, he does not need our glorification, especially because we are members of this Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Sankirtan movement. So this movement is dedicated to the constant glorification of the Lord. So one may ask when we meet the newcomers, one may ask, why does the Lord need to be glorified at all time? Does he enjoy hearing about himself? Does he have his own glory? No, but this verse we see the key to the glorification is because Prahlad makes it very clear. Prahlad Maharaj, he was one of the 12 Mahajans. And in Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 3, verse 20, Srila Prabhupada says, Swayambhur Narada Shambhu Kumaran Kapilo Manahu. So Prahlad Maharaj is one of the 12 Mahajans. He's one of the authorities. Therefore, whatever Prahlad speaks, it's to be taken, as authorized. It's an authorized instruction. And it's stating that the Lord is Atmarama. So the Lord, he is satisfied. He's transcendental. He's satisfied with himself. He does not need our glorification. But the amazing thing is that by glorifying the Lord, the person who glorifies him is purified. So just as we decorate our face and we look in our reflection, it's decorated. So when we decorate the Lord in glorification, we ourselves become glorified and we become purified. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says in Madhya Lila, chapter 22, verse 75, Sarva Maha Gunagana Vaishnava Shariri Krishna Bhakti Krishnere Guna Shakali Sanchari. So translation, a Vaishnava is one who has developed all good transcendental qualities. All the good qualities of Krishna gradually develop in Krishna's devotees. So this entire glorification of the Lord is actually decorating ourselves. Although we offer him praise and we offer endless glorification, it's our own glories that are increasing. So this is a very important point made by Prahlad. So for me personally, when my demon-like mind attacks, I chant Lord Nrsingadeva's Maha Mantra. Ugram Viram Mahavishnu Jalantam Sarvatomukam Narsimha Vishnam Bhadram Mittu Namamyaham. And translation. May my head be protected by the moon-colored one, who is the greatest among humans. My obeisances unto the ferocious and powerful, the great Vishnu, the fiery one, whose faces are on all sides, the fearful one, Narsimha, who causes death of even death personified, or who can overcome death. And another personal prayer that I offer when I wake my deities, my Gornitai, Bhagavatam 5:18-8. Om Namo Bhagavate Narsimhaya. Namaste Jaste Jase. Avida Vidbhava Rajanaka Rajadamsha Karma Shaya Randai Gasa Gasa Om Swaha Avayam Atmani Bhuyishta Om Shrom. So this translation, I offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Nrsimhadeva, the source of all power. O my Lord, who possesses nails and teeth like thunderbolts, kindly vanquish our demon-like desires for fugitive activity in this material world. Please appear in our hearts and drive away our ignorance, so that may your mercy we become fearless in the struggle for existence in this material world. So Prahlad Maharaj offer many, many beautiful prayers in this chapter 9. Sweet, sweet, lovely prayers. Another favorite one of mine is verse 15. And I'll read the translation. My Lord, who were never conquered by anyone, I am certainly not afraid of your ferocious mouth and tongue, your eyes bright like the sun, or your frowning eyebrows. I do not fear your sharp, pinching teeth, your garlands of intestines, your mane soaked with blood, or your high, wedge-like ears. Nor do I fear your tumultuous roaring, which make elephants flee to distant places, or your nails, which are meant to kill your enemies. So, throughout the scripture, Lord Nrsimhadev is described as frightening. In the Narsimha Tapani Upanishad, he's called Bishana, or very frightening appearance. But this frightening appearance of the Lord is not at all frightening for his devotees. Not frightening to a young boy Prahlad, for the devotee, because Srila Prabhupada explains, like a lion is very fearsome to all animals, but to its own cub, he takes his cub by his teeth and he carries the cub, and the cub is not afraid at all, because the lion is their protector. So rather than being afraid, so like our young kids, they might have their father, who's in who's maybe a policeman or something. They do things just to scare the kids. But the young child of this policeman, he's not scared, because that's his father. He feels his protection. So we should say that our father and protector is Lord Nrsimhadev. Then we become comfortable that he's our protector. So devotees are very comfortable and very happily discussing the intestines of Hiranyakashipu hanging as a garland around the necks of the Lord. And we have many plays when devotees and the young kids, they do dramas, and then the intestines come flying from Hiranyakashipu. So Bahir Narsimha, Hriday Narsimha, he's everywhere and outside to us is Lord Narsimhadev. The Lord is in the heart. Yato yato yam, tato Narsimha. Everywhere where Lord Narsimhadev is there. So we feel very safe and very happy to discuss this pastime, and with all the bloody descriptions. So we sing daily in our temples, we sing Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hari. So the devotees are always taking pleasure in worshiping the Lord and glorifying the Lord in any form. So either pleasing or fierce form, the devotees are very pleased in worshiping. And so I will stop here and take any corrections, any clarifications.
Thank you so much, Rukmini Priya. That is so sweet. I especially like the policeman example that you were giving. So much. I was like, wow, that's so beautiful way of a contemporary way to understand. I try to explain that, using that example to like new people. Some people come and say, oh, nursing a day, like, scary form. Gaura, Gaura. Um, yeah. So yeah, it's just such a scary form. But then, like the way you explain for a father, like, for a child, if the father is policeman, he's not gonna feel fear, afraid. Like, wow, that's a very, very brilliant example. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I also love that analogy. It was perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for sharing.
Any
These
other
prayers are wonderful. Yeah, go ahead, Mataji.
any other questions for Rukmini Priya Mataji?
Do you have any special words or section when you were preparing which you really liked? Would like to share that, something which touched your heart, Mataji? I'd like to hear that.
Any what? Any
A particular section of words which you liked a lot in this preparation, in this presentation, when you were doing it, something which struck your heart.
It's just that that what struck my heart is Prahlad at such a young age, like even the demigods were in fear, but Prahlad was not. He's just just unflinching faith and just paid obeisances. And the second thing is that he did not want any boon from the Lord. He didn't he said to the Lord, this is not a bartering system. I do not want any boons from you. I just want your love and your affection. So those two things really, touched my heart when I was like, trying to prepare for this class.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you.
So yeah, we have some amazing speakers coming up on this same Prahlad Maharaj's. Thanks to Nitya Kishori, our dear Nitya Kishori. She quickly, prepare all the titles so it'll make it easier for our Radha Shakti group to speak on. So thank you, dear Nitya Kishori Devi Dasi, for your assistance.
Thank you, Mataji, for this service.
Yeah, this was very helpful. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Niti Kishori.
Thank you, Mataji.
So if we don't have any additional questions, we can end our discussion today and look forward for next week discussion. For the rest of the month, we have a packed schedule. Our dear Taruni Radha will speak a few times, and then we have some other Vaishnavis who will be speaking on this chapter. So kindly join and stay tuned. Prahlad Maharaj ki jai, Narsimha Bhagwan ki jai.
Anybody?
Uh,
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank
Thank you very much, Rukmini Priya Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Rukmini Priya Mataji, can you stay on if you can?
Yeah. You ended the live stream, right?
Okay, just to this the planning of the guest speakers, etc.
Okay, sure.
Okay. So
Let me get that spreadsheet up. So let's see.
so was Nidra Prabhu saying something about the schedule of the talks, or was it something else?
She just said, how can she reach you? So I said to my mind, oh no, I was planning to ask her to what's her topic for me, but she didn't tell me why, but she said she wants to reach you. So I'm thinking she'll send you a text or something. And I was rethinking,
Sujata Mataji, I'm sorry to get you in. I actually was listening. Natik, I don't know why I can't.
wait, you're cutting off, huh? Did you lose it? Oh, we lost her.